Date, time, and temperature. Saturday, March the 9th, 2024, 10 a.m. at 38 degrees. When I bust out that Walt Disney World Pop Century coffee mug, it only means one thing. Well, technically it means two things. One, it means I'm drinking coffee. And two, it means that we're going to a pop culture convention. Convention news. Unfortunately, it's bad news. My Saturday pass for 90s Con 2024 came in the mail. I bought this thing online last year and they went on sale. Unfortunately, I can't make it to 90s Con 2024. Kind of bummed out. I went to 90s Con 2023 and 2022. The last two cons, the only two 90s cons. Unfortunately, can't make it this year. Kind of bummed out. Wanted to meet Alyssa Milano and Gina Davis from Beetlejuice. Of course, Alyssa Milano from Who's the Boss. I've met Tony Danza before. I'm a Who's the Boss fan. As you can tell by the way this room is decorated, I am very much deep into the world of pop culture. More specifically, pop culture from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. That's when I was a kid. That's when I have fond memories of pop culture growing up. Any opportunity I have to add more pop culture greatness to this room here that I'm standing in, I take that opportunity. And today, my friends, we are going to, well, one of my favorite conventions I go to every year. It's actually being held 4 times a year. They have a winter, spring, summer, and fall edition of this convention. It's a smaller convention. Like if this is your first pop culture convention, if you have never been to a pop culture convention and you want to dip your toe into the world of pop culture, today's convention is a perfect convention to dip that toe in, to get started into the world of pop culture. Hopefully we find a lot of stuff out here that I can add to this room. Stuff that I had once as a kid and maybe got lost during moving, or my parents threw it out when I was younger, or I threw it out. I try to, like, repurchase that stuff that I used to own as a kid, and I keep it in this room right here, kind of like a trophy. Do I play with these toys? No. I just keep them as, like, background filler. Topics of conversation. For today's detour, you and I are traveling back to Boxborough, Massachusetts, more specifically the Boxborough Regency Hotel for the NorthEast Comic-Con and Collectibles Extravaganza Cabin Fever Edition. That was a mouthful. I love this lobby hotel, and I love the fact that the rooms look over the lobby and the pool and the waterfalls and the pop culture convention. It definitely has that 70s feel. First things first, we got to step up to the bar and get that ice cold beer. Grab myself a Moon Hill Atlantic Fog IPA. Never tried this beer before. Oh, that's good. I 100% had that Darth Vader cardboard cutout when I was a kid.
Bought them all over the place, no matter where I go.
Jack, don't you have enough Jack stuff?
Oh my God! I guess Jack can't have enough Jack, right?
No.
I mean,
are you getting paid for the likeness?
I think I should have maybe came as Jack, and then I'd probably get it for even half of what I ended up bargaining.
I also cosplay as Jack, though, so that might not have worked for you.
Probably not as good as
this
me.
worked well, yes.
Damn, that's a pretty badass Darth Vader helmet for $700. The guy out here selling this thing said this used to hang in a Toys R Us. Remember Toys R Us? Back in the mid to late 80s, he said. I'm pretty sure I had those Star Wars curtains. Good thing you're not wearing your long legs tonight, Jack.
Dr. U-Ball.
I feel like I'm just like in the Star Wars cantina, right?
I am.
They don't serve your kind of here.
Yeah, what are they drinking though? Isn't it like a blue
milk? He doesn't like it. I don't like it either. Well, this guy's gonna keep on going. Yeah. So you can play these tunes on like what's kind of like what would you describe this as, like a flute or something? Or?
It is a flute.
That's a flute. Correct. Wow! I just pulled that out of my very small dictionary in my brain.
You pulled it out right.
Yeah. It was fun hanging out with my buddy Salem Jack today here at this convention. I didn't put him on camera because he wasn't dressed as Salem Jack, but it's always good to hang out with my dude.
Hey, Derek.
You're right. It's never boring.
Never boring, and there's free parking.
Oh man, you never see cigarette advertisements anymore. That's awesome.
Advertise cigarettes.
Yeah, they don't do that no more, Gary.
For children.
Yeah.
And they all work. They all work.
Yeah.
They're mechanical. They all work.
Do they really?
Yeah. Why would I lie to you? How long you know me?
Guy, this is Gary. He runs the show, the Northeast Comic-Con Collectibles Extravaganza, the Cabin Fever edition. Gary's got this sweet Knight Rider lunchbox, an original E.T. bendable toy. Oh man, the Quick Rabbit. Are you a Roger Rabbit fan? Well, you're in luck because Gary's got the Roger Rabbit stuff out here for sale. This is all definitely old and vintage, that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Oh, he's got the Pee-wee's Playhouse stuff down here too. Looks like it's for like a birthday party set. I definitely remember having this Fisher-Price Family Farm play set. Gary still got all of the farm animals that go with said play set. I found and purchased a VCR last weekend at a flea market. I need to start adding some VHS tapes to my collection of movies. I had all of these Disney movies growing up. I gave them all to my sister when she had kids. And, you know, VHS tapes 15 years ago were kind of a thing of the past. You know, it's all about the DVDs and the Blu-rays and now, of course, streaming. I wish I hadn't given those tapes to her. I wish I kept those things. I had like the whole Disney Vault collection. I had a lot of tapes. I'd love to find Disney's Watcher in the Woods. Remember that movie? It's not on Disney Plus at all. It was like a scary movie back in the day. They showed it to me in like, it was elementary school we watched. That's the first time I've ever seen it. I would definitely purchase it if I found it here today. Come on, Gary. Where's Watcher in the Woods? Dang, some old school vintage Disney Super 8 movies. I remember watching some of those. My parents like rented a Super 8 reel-to-reel machine one time. Yeah, I think you had to use a device like this to show those Super 8 videos. I believe this is like an 8-track player, an old Disney 8-track player. That's pretty cool. I'm looking at a bunch of relics over here. This is the kind of stuff that I come to these conventions for. Out-of-date technology. Do you younger viewers know what that thing is? You know, I got a show of Godzilla in every pop culture convention video that I do, and this does not disappoint. This is the 1978 Shogun Godzilla. I actually still have mine. I don't have the Firing Fist, which is right down there. But this is usually hard to find complete with like the tail and the fist and with the tongue still operational. This guy's asking $750 for it. It's mint conditioned. So is mine. I just need the fist. I'm kind of digging that little King Kong action figure. I gotta see how much that guy is. You know, $15 for King Kong. I don't know anything about this character, how much it's worth, but I'm a big King Kong fan. $15 sounds reasonable to me. Oh yeah, I spy the Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah. Checking out these WWF action figures. I actually met a lot of these guys live in person. Hulk Hogan, Brutus Beefcake, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, a Rocky keychain. I've never seen that before. That's interesting. Clash of the Titans. Nice. They had a Medusa. I'd probably buy a Perseus and a Medusa. I mean, that's kind of like Medusa, but not really. I found them. Of course, they got the G.I. Joes. You know they gotta have those Star Wars. He-Man, you boob. Cowabunga, dude, you gotta have those Ninja Turtles. You know I love me some Twilight Zone. What do they got for Twilight Zone characters over here? These are glow in the dark. From one of my favorite episodes, Eye of the Beholder. I actually have a Dr. Bernardi black and white action figure. Again, these glow in the dark. That's pretty cool. Another one of my favorite Twilight Zone episodes, To Serve Man. Spoiler alert, it's about a cookbook. He was canning it. Glad to see that Hot Wheels is still a thing. I was a big collector of Hot Wheels when I was a kid. These are obviously newer Hot Wheels, but Hot Wheels nonetheless. Who do you guys like better, E.T. or Alf? E.T. eats Reese's Pieces, Alf eats cats. Amazing. Pigs in Space. This is definitely tempting, this Pigs in Space lunchbox, $35. I could tell that there's still a thermos inside of it by the weight. That's one of the Star Wars playsets I never had. I never got an Ewok Village, although I do like walking through the Ewok Village over at Disney's Hollywood Studios when you enter Star Tours. $180 for this Return of the Jedi Ewoks playset. Ooh, $250 for the original Millennium Falcon. That was a huge toy back in the day. It took up a lot of room in your room. Damn. I had the Imperial Shuttle. Again, that's a huge toy. That took up a lot of real estate in your bedroom. Had only I kept the box. $400. Wow. I still have my original Empire Strikes Back snow speeder at home, but except it's missing. I still have my original Return of the Jedi speeder bike as well, complete. Nothing wrong with it. And of course I got the Stormtrooper that goes along with it. That's worth $120 in box. Well, there's that speeder bike. I definitely still have that. I never had a Tauntaun growing up. I never, for some reason, never bought a Tauntaun. I do have a Hoth Luke, and I think Hoth Luke definitely needs a Tauntaun to sit on and be displayed in the pop culture bar, don't you think? They're asking $20 for this thing. Although there is a Tauntaun still in the original box up there. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. I was checking out that little Frankenstein's monster action figure here last year. I think they got one at $30. That thing's pretty cool. I don't know anything about it. I don't know how vintage it is. I like the way it looks though. It's confirmed. Captain Kirk doesn't wear boxer shorts. Huh. Popeye. You never see Popeye anymore. You would be dopey not to pick up this Roger Rabbit thermos for $5. Spent many nights back in college playing the old 007 GoldenEye. I'm not a huge Funko Pop collector. I have a Randy Macho Man Savage one, and I have the shark from Jaws, but this is pretty cool. This Chief Brody over here, complete with cigarette. I used to have a Michael Jackson action figure back in the 80s as well, so I kind of had my eyes open for one of those, kind of added it back to the collection. I didn't find one out here today, but here's a Michael Jackson Funko Pop. Again, I'm not a huge Funko Pop guy. How many beers do you think that Tron mug can hold? Well, the pirate guy is, he represents the fillet of fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could probably finish my McDonald's glass collection by just buying two. I don't have Big Mac the Cop, and I don't have the fillet of fish. What's his name? Captain what? What was his name? Rest in peace, Brer Fox. I'm sorry to see Splash Mountain go at Disney World and Disneyland. It's a pretty sweet Sorcerer Mickey clock. Goofy and Donald are definitely old. They're definitely vintage, but I'm sure they're definitely expensive. So much cool stuff out there. A complete set of 1986 Series 3 Garbage Pail Kids, $70. I'm not gonna say his name 3 times. I wonder what that Davy Crockett thing down there is. Is that a flashlight? Maybe a pocket knife? Oh, Mr. Peanut. This is a pretty good treasure chest of Mego action figures. You guys know I love me some Planet of the Apes. Lone Ranger. Nice. I'm Batman. Of course, you gotta have comic books at a Comic-Con. Little Garfield action, of course, Batman and Robin. Who you gonna call? I believe that's a horse from the Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark playset. I still have my horse at home, complete with saddle. I was certainly a big collector of Smurfs back in the 80s. I still have a few of my original Smurfs from the 1980s back in my pop culture room. Care Bears and Peanuts, the hits just keep on coming. I don't think I've ever seen this thing before. Mickey's Space Quiz. Totally complete, the toothbrushes are still in there. I didn't collect Strawberry Shortcake growing up, but my sister sure did. My sister definitely collected those My Pretty Ponies. These books definitely weren't around when I was a kid. Probably not going to meet the cast of Growing Pains. I've met a few of them at past conventions, but I am going to stick around and watch the celebrity panel. I'm going home with just 2 small items to add to my pop culture collection. I got the $15 King Kong action figure, and I spent $5 on this little Jack Skellington figure. That's going to be it for me today at the NorthEast Comic-Con and Collectibles Extravaganza Cabin Fever Edition. Be sure you check out the upcoming one-day Collectibles Extravaganza. It's going to be July the 7th, back here at the Boxbar Regency Hotel. Again, just a one-day collectibles convention. Got to say thank you to Detour fan Jason and his kid and their friends for stopping and saying hello to me today at the convention. I appreciate you guys being viewers of my channel. Hope you guys have a good trip to Disney coming up. I got to give a big thanks and a shout out to those Detour viewers that help support the channel financially by donating to my Patreon page. Big shout out to Karen O'Reilly, Marshall Brown, Peter Jargalos, Dane Lavender, Steve Davis, C. Marie, David Goldman, Matthew Harton, Megan Milliman, Stephen Brady, Emilio Flores, Danielle Benedenti, Jeff Knudsen, Ronnie and Chrissy Collins, Hubie Dubois, David and Jess, Jeff Penn, Mac Mallow, Brian Dugan, Ron Crocker, Stephen Shirley, Ben Smith, Vesper and Ollie Anderson, Joel Riendo, James Schimmelman, Tenacious Day, Kansas Girl Abroad, Runty and Mr. Beanie, Sandra Mialos, Joe and Stacy, Steve White, Bill Lutz, Richard Clacka, Ralph Longmore, Zombie Joe, Keith and Don Gagne, Mark Biss, John Bryson, Taylor and Courtney Wingard, Jenny Cooper, Melanie Ramos, Poochie D, the Pierce family, John Nelson, John and Mel, and Jesse DeStasio. Thank you guys so much for enjoying my videos that you want to help support the channel financially. You guys are the best fans. I appreciate each and every one of your donations. Thank you guys so very much for enjoying the videos. And of course, cheers, my friends. You know what to do next. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. It helps more people see the video. Leave a comment down below. I always answer all the comments. If you haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing to Detours. Click that red subscribe button. While you're clicking away, click that small bell. It'll give you instant notification every single time I upload a brand new Detour. Check me out on social media. I'm on Instagram at Derek Millen, DerekMillen. I also have a Facebook group, Derek Millen's Detours. And as always, I'll catch you on the next Detour.